the Senate Democrats have voted to end the impeachment of Mayorkas.
Of course.
Which doesn't make sense to me. I mean, he was impeached in the House, and then they sent it up for trial, and they're like, nah, we're not doing that. Even though we are having the worst issue of immigration in the entirely history of the United States, and the person responsible for said issue isn't impeachable because they said we're not going to try him at all, even though they won't even hear evidence to it, is insane. But I mean, then again, we have kids that are pretending to be furries in school. So, I mean, we're not a serious people.
There's a reason Mayorkas isn't going to get impeached. And I don't want to say it, man, because I know if I say it, it's going to get us demonetized big time. But there's another reason. He's protected. He's protected by the cabal, protected by a certain sect of people that are in charge. That's why. So, the people in charge, we always say these people that are sent up here on camera, yelling and back at each other, arguing back and forth with each other, they're all actors, man. At the end of the day, Johnson, all of them, they answer to somebody else way above them. And it's not the president. It's not the president. Somebody else is calling the shots. The same people telling the president what to do. It's the same people telling Congress to do. That's why Mayorkas didn't get impeached. The right always folds, and we mentioned this yesterday. It doesn't matter what it is. The right folds. Every time the right is just like, they always go bipartisan. The left doesn't play that game. They might go bipartisan as long as they get what they want. But if it's something the right wants, the left have nothing to do with it. The right always seems to do that. Why? Who's paying you? Who's paying you? And I'm not talking about tax dollars, whatever that fake, saying you guys like to say tax dollars. It's not tax dollars. Who's really paying you?
Yeah.
And we're going to find out. We're going to find out, and hopefully we tar and feather you guys. Just saying.
Yep. So the Senate Democrats voted to end the impeachment proceedings against Director of Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas on Wednesday without trial, in a move that enraged the Republican colleagues. Because, I'm glad that we have to sit through all the Trump trials, but we can't actually sit through a trial for a guy who is literally not doing his job and following federal law. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. The Senate vote, not surprisingly, by the way, the Senate vote mostly on party lines. Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed it would have been on party lines?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could have told you that before you even reached the Senate, that it was going to be on party lines. So they dismissed 2 articles of impeachment against Mayorkas and adjourned the trial. Alaska Senator Lisa Murkowski, who broke party lines to support the second impeachment of Donald Trump, voted present during the vote to table the first article while supporting the second article of impeachment. Mitt Romney, yay, our favorite, another Republican who supported both impeachments of Donald Trump, voted against shutting down the trial. And both instances. Well, at least he has a backbone sometimes.
Really?
Yeah. Look at there. Many members of the GOP caucus voiced their frustration over Democrats killing the impeachment process without a public debate, period. It is so crazy to me. So there's actually a video of Ted Cruz complaining about it too.
I don't trust him either, but
I don't know, but he's saying exactly what needs to be said. A broken clock is right twice a day, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes people say things that are correct, even if they're wrong. Sometimes. So here's his reaction to
motion. The majority leader has argued that Secretary Mayorkas' defiance of federal immigration law and active aiding and abetting of the worst criminal invasion in our nation's history does not constitute a high crime or misdemeanor. He has presented no argument on that question. He has presented no briefing on that question, and the position is directly contrary to the Constitution, to the original understanding of the Constitution at the time it was ratified, and to the explicit position of the Biden Department of Justice as argued before the Supreme Court of the United States. The majority leader's position is asking members of this Senate to vote on political expediency to avoid listening to arguments. The only rational way to resolve this question is actually to debate it, to consider the Constitution and consider the law.
The senator will recognize that the Senate is in a non-debatable position. The senator has a right to offer his point of order, or his motion, but we are in a non-debatable position.
And my motion is to change that so that we can actually debate the law if senators care what the Constitution and law says. I therefore move that the Senate proceed to closed session to allow for deliberation on the question as required by Impeachment Rule 24.
Madam President,
Majority Leader.
in our previous consent request, we gave your side a chance for debate in public, where it should be, and your side objected. We are moving forward.
And so they just shut it down. It's like, well, you didn't do what we asked for, and so there it is. That's what you get. It's it's just amazing to me. These are the people running
A bunch of
things.
freaking dinosaurs running our country. They've been running it for years, and look at the state that we're in. And then you got the American people, some American people who keep voting for these same people that they say shouldn't be in office, but every year we keep voting for them.
Yep.
You know, then they make it to
Every
the point
year.
to where your average citizen can't run because they don't have enough money. You got to be a millionaire just to run for these offices. It makes no sense, man. It makes no
And
sense. The American people need to wake up to this. It's all an operation to destroy our country. All of this.
Right. And I want to put this in perspective for people, because like this just happened in New York, where African migrants in New York City went to the council to whine about free food and housing. So we can't impeach Mayorkas for the stupid things he's been doing and not following the law, but we still have to pay for and house people like this who demand of the U.S. taxpayer their rightful dues.
But at the shelter, the food, my kids cannot eat the food at the shelter.
Kasuma do men sonjino moƴƴa par ce que tawi kadi horu gongol arta e kikiɗe tawa ñamete on a wawatamo ñamude.
And on Ramadan time, we couldn't eat because when you come back for the breaks, the food is no good at all.
Ko ɓe jonata men kon kadi 2 mois a yalta e o 2 mois ɗo timma yalta tawa ko ya ƴettu kadi paykoy koye fof ƴetta bagage ji ma yaha kadi winditoyoɗa ɓe naɓira ma kadi nokkugo hara paykoy koye no jangguirde nokkugo ɗum noon fof no wondani men e sattendi.
And they give us 2 months to stay at the shelter, and then you have to go out again with your luggages and the kids and find another place. It's very difficult.
Haray
No wonder it's difficult. We have homeless Americans in the street right now because it's difficult. We have people that can't buy houses because it's difficult. We have people that can't pay rent because it's difficult. But you expect, just because you came here, because you were invited here by the Biden administration, that you get handouts
Of our money.
of our money. Yeah.
Yep. No,
But
sorry.
that's what you expect. That's what they expect. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't, you know, if we're going to help, they need to go to the end of the line and help the American citizens first. You start helping these American citizens. If they started helping all our homeless and all our people that need health care and all the Americans that are struggling to do everything, I don't think the American people would have a problem with them helping these immigrants. But they put the American people on the back burner. They put all these immigrants in front of the line, give them everything they want. And then the American people that are looking, they're looking like, you know, I've been on the streets for 5 years and nobody's came and gave me a handout. I've been begging and crawling.
I just want to point out this line of people that we just watched.
Military.
You want to notice something interesting? Yeah. They're all young men. Every single wait, there's one. There's 2 that's not, like maybe 3 right there.
It's an invasion.
Just 1 or 2 of them that are not. But they went and they complained that they weren't getting enough. That they were promised certain things by a certain amount of people that they were going to receive help in New York City.
They're better
it's
than me.
sanctuary.
They're better than me. I couldn't be the president. I'm like, all right, look, get them all on a plane. We're going to fly them to this other city that's going to give them free housing and everything. I'll fly their asses back to where they came from.
Yep.
You want to complain? Okay, hey, we're going to fly you over to Texas. They're in New York. Fly them over to Texas. You fly them back to their country. Have them get off the plane. And see you later. Enjoy. You want to
But
complain?
New York does not deserve to be impeached over any of this.
No.
None of it.
Take them on the
Which is-
Martha's Vineyard, man. They got room.
The whole thing is not serious. Everything that we do is not serious. I mean,